Hey, everybody, listen, happy Thursday, okay? It's Trending Topics Thursday, and woo. Can I get a woo in the chat? Because I don't know what's up with 2023, but we got what, maybe less than 60 days, and we'll be ushering in 2024. 2023 has been a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean, a lot. Divorces, breakups, and makeups because Kim and Croy over there playing games, okay? One minute they off, next minute they back on. She dropped Behrman from her name. She added it back on. Then we got a little bit more serious stuff going on. You got Jeezy and Janie Mai. They living together. Somebody cheated, didn't cheat. He could never forgive her and counseling can't help. And now we come to these stories. Whew. I wasn't ready for this. When I heard about Jada and Will, I fell off my seat. I said, oh, this brother Bilal running his mouth. Running his mouth. He unlocked the door and he saw somebody bent over and somebody else murdering that person. Okay? That's what Brother Bilal said. And then he went over there behind the scenes, behind the paywall, TashaKLive.com, and he told a whole lot of stuff. Then we got Diddy. Just when I thought we had enough, we had to deal with Jada and Will and all the situations going on with them. Then we hear about Diddy. Disgusting, vile. You better believe that. Then we hear about Diddy. Now, if we're going to talk tonight, let's talk. Okay, we got to talk. If we're going to talk, let's talk. If we're not going to talk, let's not talk. And what do I mean by that? There has been rumors on the streets for decades that Diddy is Diddy. That Diddy like to put his hands on people. Oh, somebody said Diddy time is up. Woo. Woo. Yeah. That Diddy, even with his baby mama, the twins. Oh, yeah, that part. Yeah, unaliving it. Yeah, Thank you, Brandon. So, Diddy and the twins' mom, what's her name again? May she rest in peace. She was supposed, Kim Porter. Come on, thank you, Miss Wilson. Y'all helping me out. It was alleged that, Diddy was involved with that situation. It was alleged that Diddy put his hands on her. It was alleged that she was about to write a tell-all that involved Diddy. Rest in peace. Is that not ironic? Thank you, Felicia. You said Kim Porter passed 5 years ago yesterday. Wow. And when did Cassie file this lawsuit today? And they named him in that Tupac situation. We gotta talk about Diddy. It's a lot, y'all. I hope you're ready. Then we're going to talk about Bill and Camille Cosby. We gotta maybe have a town hall for the females, the ladies, the woman. We may have to have a little town hall one day for all of them, right? Because you got Keke Palmer and her situation. That's what I call it right now. Then you have Camille, whose husband was accused of a lot of things for decades. And Camille turned a blind eye. As long as Camille was able to go to the spa, live in her nice brownstone with her chefs and the cooks, go to Paris, France, buy Gucci, Louis Vuitton, have luncheons, go visit Oprah, and whatever else she wanted to do, she turned a blind eye to putting Bill Cosby and everything he was in these streets doing. And now in her 70s, she mad and don't want to fire a chef, a cook, security guard, nothing, because she's still pretending. I should have named this Stand By Your Man. You ain't lying, Felicia. Because Jada standing by her man. Camille standing by her man. And Diddy, whoo. Now, New York, this is what happened to Diddy. If it wasn't for New York and that law that allowed the people to, they got to the 24th. Listen, them predators better hold on tight to their seats and wait till that clock strikes midnight on the 24th, because all of these victims, they have up to the 24th of November to file their case. Because this happened to, what's her name? Cassie over a decade ago. But listen, statute of limitations don't apply. Listen, y'all better buckle your seatbelt and be ready to have a real conversation up in here, because we're about to get into it. Now, what do I need in the chat? Come on the 24th. I know a lot of men are in their house praying to God right now that they close their eyes and wake up and the 24th is here and gone. Y'all know what I need in that chat? I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. We're about to board this train for Thursday night trending topics. And I'm saying woo, 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 because it's a doozy. But we're going to get into it because we can handle this. Now, let me go ahead and board this train and bring the people in the building. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva, prayers up, prayers up.
Prayers
we got
up.
You, though. We got you.
Yes. Come on now. Put the prayer emojis in the chat, yo. We need them. We got to be covered tonight. Felicia, you in the building?
Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Come on, Tupo. Come on, everybody. Get on in there.
Come on, Tupo. Hey, E.
Choo, choo, choo.
In my opinion, Nikki, Sebastian, Dr. Love. Hey, D.
Hey, Diva.
Hello, everybody.
Hey. And listen, people, welcome. Y'all been asking where he was at. Welcome, Denzel, back in the building. Come on.
How you doing, Diva? Hey, everybody.
Hey. Listen,
I'm back.
Prayers. Come on, you back. Now let's
buckle up.
Buckle up. Let me sit up in this chair here. Buckle up, people. Buckle
Are
up.
we having drinks tonight?
Child, the drink card is closed, but
no, it's gonna be sober.
What do they call when you?
The drink card open. It's been open for a minute for me.
Ooh,
we need that card.
Bring your own bottle. What is it? B.O.B. It's B.O.B. night.
Bring your own booze.
B.Y.O.B.
B.Y.O. Whatever it is. That's what it is tonight. Bring your own bottle, honey. Bring your own bottle. Okay, people. I'm gonna start with Camille Cosby. And the reason why I'm starting with Camille is because, ladies, I understand the vow said to death do your part, right? But when your man is being accused of touching hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women, females, that's death. That's when you got a part. You get your cash, okay? No, I don't drink. I don't drink. You get your cash and you run. You out. Now she want to sit there in her senior citizen years and cry about there's no more money, and she want to act like, the walls are not crashing down in front of her. Come on, Camille. We ain't playing with you, Camille. Let me see. Okay, there we go. So Bill Cosby is 86 on a fixed income and hopes he can leave behind enough for his family despite financial issues. Bill, that's a wrap. Because every single month you being sued. There's nothing left for the family. Matter of fact, probably when he's gone, they're going to try to sue the estate. Forget about it. Tell your family they need to work, Bill. This is over. Okay? So Bill Cosby has had to change his spending habits in his old age. With a source close to the comedian telling RadioOnline.com that he and his wife, Camille Cosby, are on a fixed income and are in a dire financial situation. Okay, an insider shared that Bill 86 and Camille 79 hope to leave their fortune, which was one time valued at $400 million. $400 million to their loved ones, but the actors' legal issues are bleeding them dry. They are trying to preserve everything for their family and grandchildren, the source stated, adding the Cosbys are watching what they spend, as many older couples do. Okay, he served 3 years in prison and got out on a technicality. Now, Radar Online broke the story. Bill and Camille are said to be in financial turmoil as Cosby's patriarch faces endless lawsuits from women with SA allegations and tax liens. It's never going to end, the insider told us regarding Bill's uphill legal battles. They also stated that the couple of nearly 60 years is in a bad situation financially, which has allegedly caused major issues between them. Bill was released from prison in 2021, but has not worked since 2015. His lack of employment has not helped their situation, said the source. We're told the alleged money problems are so grim that they have been forced to liquidate their assets, take out second mortgages, and sell off their beloved artwork. No, we ain't selling my artwork. What's going on here? One thing, though, Camille won't budge on is her employees, who wait on her hand and foot. Camille is not thinking straight. She's thinking they still back in the Cosby Show days. Camille, wake up. The insider claimed that Bill and his wife had not paid their household staff in some time. Now, see, I don't understand these diehard workers. If I was supposed to get paid every 2 weeks or every week, the day I don't get my check, I'm out. What happened? Are you going to give it to me on Tuesday or later on today? Now, I'm going to give them a minute. But there's no way I'm going to be sitting there week after week after week and I didn't get paid. That's not happening. Okay? The comedian is telling his wife they can't live that lifestyle anymore. He allegedly wants to fire some of the employees, but Camille says she can't bear to lose her chef or her staffers. What, you want me to go around here and cook an egg? I ain't cooking over 30 years. The source said despite their money issues, they will find a way to pay their workers. Well, you just said the workers wasn't paid. How you going to find a way to pay them? It's over, Camille. I want you to wake up. Leo, what about Camille?
Girl, Camille is old. She's set in her ways. She don't know. Her and Bill Cosby have been famous for 50 years. She don't know nothing about scrambling no eggs. She don't know nothing about cleaning her own toilets. She don't know nothing about doing her own driving. She does not know anything about that. So it is over her head. What he really need to do is cut the cord and be there when she break down and say, baby, we got some eggs and we got some bacon in there and I can't see. So you're going to have to figure out how to get us fed.
I can't see.
We got enough for some groceries. And that's about it. And selling off the artwork. They need to sell off the artwork. They need to sell off the properties. They need to sell off all the things. That's right. That's right. She is old school rich. So she don't really get that they need to sell the house. They need to move in one of them condos or one of them facilities where they might have them a chef on hand, but they got to schmooze with the other people. Like go to one of them assisted living facilities. They might need to do all the things to be able to have a little bit of a nest egg just in case they live into their 90s and they won't be in the cardboard box up under the bridge.
That part.
So yes, she is delusional. Yes, she does not see what's going on. She is not actually paying attention because she never really was paying attention to the money. She never really had to.
That part.
She never really had to. They had prestige. They had industry power. They had industry friends. And one thing about going broke after being convicted of such a heinous crime that Bill Cosby has, they could have took out loans. They could have had opportunities to have money. No, there ain't no residuals. Ain't no residuals because people ain't playing the Cosby Show like they used to. And that's unfortunate for the other actors that did nothing wrong.
Yep.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But girl, back in the 50s when you had to scramble eggs, you better learn how to do so thus far.
Yeah.
Because the piper is calling and y'all gonna have to pay the price. You stuck in so long with him over his foolery all these years. There is a price to be paid. And the payment is due.
Payment is due. Now. Woo! It is now. Right now. Yeah, come on now. She better look at a video and see how to cook. Felicia, you're up.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope everyone is well, happy. Listen, I'm going to be on. I'm going to just be on and honest. 60 years a predator's wife.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. So, no, I'm not giving up the estate. I'm not giving up my butler. I'm not giving up my chef.
Come on.
I'm not giving up my driver. I'm not giving up none of my luxuries. I have stood by a known predator for 60 years.
60 years a slave. Okay.
No, she wasn't a slave.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
She was a complicit criminal.
Oh, my God.
She is what you would call a honeypot. See, many predators have a honeypot. And they use the honeypot to bring people in to feel safe.
Oh.
Now, I followed that Cosby case. And a lot of folks would say, a lot of this was documented, that they would go to the house and they had heard these stories. But according to them, Camille knew how to cook then because she'd be in the kitchen cooking up something. Oh, and they would say, well, she here, so we good. I'm safe.
Oh.
So that's what you call a honeypot. See, you have some concerns. Come on. You walk in and you see someone that looks engaging and warm and honest and decent.
I got you.
You fall for it and you become a victim. She did her job 60 years. And it wasn't just women, it was children too.
Oh my goodness.
So she's not giving up her estate. She's not giving up her butler, her accounts, her passport. And when the day comes for the real change, maybe she'll hear clink, clink.
Oh my God.
She'll go off someplace where they'll prepare her meals for her. I think you get 3 a day. You get visitation.
And you get a cot.
And you get a cot. Maybe you got to make that up. I don't know. Don't want to know. But I'm not mad with her. Until then, live the life you know, Camille. You keep doing you.
Well, you're up. Camille Cosby.
Hey, I'm really shocked at Camille because Camille is a Pisces, and you have to forgive me, I have on my retainer tonight. But Camille is a March Pisces, and one thing about a Pisces is Pisces women are very prone to filing for divorce. So, because it's 5 of them, they say it's 5 zodiacs that will not tolerate any BS in a marriage. Aries, Leo, Gemini, Scorpio, and Pisces. They don't play.
Holla.
So we got to forget this old school rich talk because Camille and Bill, with whatever gumption he has left, they need to scramble up whatever quarters they have left over from these legal fees, settlements, and car notes. Go down to the U-Haul place, get a few boxes and some duct tape. Okay, some of them moving pads, okay, and head over to the Pinewood residential home in New Jersey, okay, because at this rate, they're going to need some assistance with administering their insulin, running their warm bath water at the temperature they prefer, and because we don't have chefs anymore, okay, it's none of this lobster and caviar, but down at the Pinewood, there will be a nice lady or gentleman who will be able to assist you with putting your cup of ramen noodles in the microwave and pressing the number 5 for 5 minutes and warming up that water so that you can have a nice hot meal. Now, She'll also get some assistance at Pinewood because, they'll help you hooking up your Prime Video to your Fire TV because, we won't have this satellite anymore. Call Xfinity, cut it off. It's time's up. Okay. I have no sympathy for Camille because she is no different than the women on For My Man and Fatal Attraction. When you align yourself with this criminal activity, like Felicia said, there are women who have suffered, and you're talking about going and visiting Oprah. If Oprah really thought you were so innocent, why don't you live in the house with Oprah and Stedman? Because from what Royer let me know earlier, Oprah wouldn't mind having a extra plate of tuna on the side. That's between me and Royer, allegedly. So I mean, come on. If you're so innocent and no harm, no foul, how come Beyonce didn't come out and help you? I mean, I'm not having sympathy for Camille. And your job as the wife back in those days, you had the babies, you raised the babies. All these babies you had, why aren't they making money? Why aren't they Hollywood royalty? I know we're going to talk about Will and Jada later, but Willow and Jada make their own money. So what happened to Bill and Camille's kids? What are they doing? Are they in jail? Are they following behind the father's footsteps? Are they putting some things in people's drinks? Do we need to be on the lookout? Tasha K, you getting the wrong stories, girl. We need to find out what's going on with the Cosby kids. Somebody do an update and come back to the Great Train and let me know. Choo choo.
Dr. Love, Camille Cosby. Camille Cosby.
Oh, goodness. I'm like everybody else. I need not be in line after E. Oh, my goodness, because my thoughts is so different. Camille, first of all, she old school, but she ain't that old school to where she flat broke. But here is my question to these people who is supposed to help them. What they PRs? When this first came out, why her PR didn't tell her to get a divorce and get half? Like story number one, because you was married to this man 60 years. You know what you know. You ain't married to nobody, and especially that long, and don't know what you know. Okay. Right. So where is these people that's supposed to be giving a good advice? Where's them lawyers supposed to be on her side when that first story came out? For her to get a divorce and get half, he still could have came back home if that's what she wanted after, he went to jail, So, of course, nobody don't feel nothing for her. And I feel like them kids is well off. So, yeah. But I feel like she's using their money, the kids' money. I don't know if she's using them kids' money, her money, or she's saying, I'm about to run him to the bank, run it down to the dirt till those boxes are due, like you talking about, E. I would like to know her real thought process, to know if she have put up money somewhere, because I don't know no old schoolers like my grandmama and them that they tell us you always keep you side money, So I just don't see her not having a penny, or them kids not being well off, taking care of her and her only.
Better go sell some plasma.
No.
So I'm kind of up in the air with this. I guess I have to get more into it to really see her Camille's personality, because she knew what was going on. Even if she didn't know in the beginning, 20, 30 years later, she knew. So, yeah, that's just my thing. Oh, and with Bill Cosby in that jail, I told my family he wasn't going to stay. And especially once they made him a GED teacher, and he got to teaching them people some real common sense, them boys or males, I'm so sorry, those males that was in incarcerated with him. I knew they had to get him out of there. So yeah, that's just my opinion.
Thank you, Dr. Love. Yeah, Bill Cosby. Okay, they said all the kids' names start with the letter E. Sebastian, you're up.
Everyone's. I heard what I think it was Miss Felicia that said that she decided she deserves to get everything she wants because she was with a predator. Well, I completely disagree. I personally believe that because you were with said predator, you deserve to get sugar honey iced tea. And she is gross. And I think if you can stand by and support a predator for the amount of years she has, it clearly shows you what type of personality that she has. And that type of personality is someone that we do not need in our society. We don't need people like this. These are called enablers. These are called
Right.
coddlers. We don't need them. And for everyone who's saying that she should have divorced him way before when all the allegations started, of course she should have. Because it's not that it wasn't just, oh, it was just one girl. No, it was multiple. It became a pattern. This is a predator. Just because he's out and all. And I remember my grandmother was defending this man. She was like, oh, he's so old. They don't have to put him in jail now. They don't have to do that to him.
Yeah,
Leave him
my
alone.
granny too.
And then when she saw him when he left, she was like, oh wait, he can go back to the jail because he can walk by himself. Because at first, mind you, throughout the whole court thing, he had his little walker, and he couldn't. He made himself like he couldn't. He made himself look like he couldn't stand. Acted like a whole blind person, and
a stick.
And when he was out, he was completely fine. It was like an immaculate conception that struck down in this planet on planet Earth. That God gave him his sight and his ability to walk and everything back again when he got out. And my grandmother was like, "Oh,
that there was a miracle. Don't do that."
Like my grandmother was like, "Oh, he manipulated me. I felt bad for him." And then she was like, "He could go back into the cell again." And people like his wife are part of said manipulation that we had to deal with. So therefore, she is not as much guilty as him, but has a good percentage of guilt that she will hold. And her heart and God don't like ugly. And when she faces God on her day of judgment, he will deal with her.
Right.
If the courts don't.
You saying Camille gonna be dealt with?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but turn a blind eye to a lot of that stuff she knew and seen. She turned a blind eye a few times. A lot.
Thank you, Sebastian. Nikki, your thoughts?
Jesus Christ.
How
can I? Listen, so I've been in a good mood. Now we got to talk about Bill Cosby. Listen, I just think it's tragic, but everything Sebastian is saying, I agree with. It's hard for me to feel bad for the wife, just because somebody said this earlier. You kind of know your mate. You know what I mean? Like you know their traits and what they're gonna do and when it's gonna change, and you're just like, something switched here, or I don't believe she didn't know, and it's hard for me to think that way, but I just don't, because after so many years of people saying this is what has been going on, kind of like the R. Kelly thing, where he's like protected by the industry type of thing. And it irritates me, but what irritates me even more is like there's women that won't even believe they own children. Like boyfriend that you got watching me, or cousin that you got watching me is doing X, Y, and Z. And they don't do anything to protect the child, and it's beyond asinine. And then, for people like Bill Cosby, who is, like Sebastian said, they grandmas, they just feel a way. Like, I will never understand how you just can give them, it's like some pass because they're a celebrity. I don't know. But I think two things. One, I can't understand how you had Bill Cosby money, because he wasn't only on the Cosby Show. He produced like A Different World and like had several TV shows. And then didn't he do that? He just had too much, I feel like, success to where he could have, commanded a certain amount of money. So I don't really understand where all his money went. Did it go to like legal fees or something? Maybe that's
right.
I didn't know.
No, I know, but I'm just saying these women have been winning the lawsuits, and lawyers will suck
so
you
he
dry.
Had to pay them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And white women ain't cheap.
Don't even put my shades like on. No, I don't feel bad for any of these people. I can't, because I just don't believe. even with little things, you notice that your husband is doing something different. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be so big when the whole world is saying this is, and then you can't win. I feel like sometimes as the victim, because people always want to say, oh, well, she just wants some money. It's a money grab. And it's like, don't nobody want to grab his money. Anyways, what was that thing I was going to say? I just feel like, he can go live with, what's his name? Tom Girardi. Isn't Tom Girardi over there then he suddenly didn't he get a black eye in his house, and the brother-in-law or the son-in-law flipped his car 5 times? Wherever Tom is, Tom seems to have gotten away with murder, in my opinion, because he swindled all them people out of all that money, and all he had to say now is, what is it? I have Alzheimer's.
Whatever. He's not getting away with it though. The judge called baloney on his claims.
Who, Bill or the
Tom Girardi?
Well, what I'm saying, he's not getting. They're not saying he has the brain.
They ain't going for it.
They're saying his cognitive abilities are still here, even though he has said diagnosis.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's good, because I was gonna tell him, that's probably his only way out if he was gonna get out. But I hope they both. Let me not. I'm not even gonna say that because I don't need to ask God for no more forgiveness today. Thanks, Diva.
Thank you. In my opinion, you're up.
Lock her behind up with him.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's, in my opinion, has spoken. Okay. Denzel, you're up.
I'm here. Are they still married?
Yes, they are.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. You saying they still married?
Yeah, that's why she not getting rid of the chefs, the cook, the driver.
Right. Nobody.
And the people ain't getting paid right now. Bill trying to plead with her, saying he ain't got it. He pulling Natasha K. He said, I ain't got it. And she don't want to hear it.
Well, first of all, you know what? She's a fool for staying with him.
Okay.
She's a fool for staying with him, and she knows he's not a good person in the stuff that he did, and she's still with him. She's a fool. You know what? I don't got nothing else to say. Both of them are trash.
Oh my goodness. All right now. D, you're up. What about Camille?
Well, honestly, to me, she sounds a little bit delusional. I mean, how old are they? Are they like in their 80s, right?
He's 86, she's 79.
Okay, you're 79 in America. Majority of Americans, when you get into your 70s, 80s, you start living on a fixed income. That's normal living.
Right.
So for her, I don't understand. Number one, I'm kind of with the name is Chanel, but I don't know if that's your real name. Nikki. But I'm kind of with her. Okay, Nikki. I was a little confused on how are y'all this broke after 60 years in the industry. And number two, I'm thinking.
Did we lose Z? Can y'all still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we can hear now. Yeah.
I can't hear her though.
Yeah,
she cut out.
Yeah, I think we lost D because she's not on mute.
Oh,
all right,
no. But until she comes back. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'll let you speak. But look at them way back when. Look at the Cosby.
The little baby girl is
and Camille is a gorgeous woman. So
let's not
lock both of them back up, okay? You're not enabling them. Lock them up.
It's very reminiscent of the Jeffrey Dahmer story on Netflix when I see that picture. But what I will say, have Camille join one of the Housewives shows. That's pretty much all that name is going to be worth now, being Camille Cosby. Go to the Housewives and be Mary Cosby's friend. Because I think that
she is
Camille thinks that when we hear Bill's name that we still hear this sound. I don't hear that when I hear Bill's name. I hear police sirens. Just me personally.
I think they are Hollywood broke, not just broke.
Yeah,
that's a good
they
point.
Hollywood broke, not broke. That's how come I say liquidate. That's always been.
But they are liquidating, and I think.
Okay.
Listen, I think they broke because he had appeals on his case. Remember, he had more than one lawyer when he was facing his trial and jail time. And then even while he was in jail, he was having to pay people. And then allegedly he gave her $10 million before he went to jail. I want to know what Camille did with the $10 million. She is delusional. She's still at Gucci, Louis Vuitton, getting, drinking champagne.
She kept the money, Diva.
Right.
That's why they both need to be locked up,
Diva.
Diva.
Can't she do OnlyFans or something?
Oh my God,
girl!
Girl, no.
Nobody wants to see geriatric.
Let's see if we can hear you. Go ahead, finish your thought. We lost her again. All right, we're gonna move on to our next story, okay? Because we got to. And I guess, do I do Diddy? You don't want me to do Diddy?
Which one is gonna be the longest?
Let's do it.
That's what we need to know.
Do it, Diva.
We need to know which one's gonna take the longest, because you be at the end. Like, get out.
I don't know. I mean, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and move on to Diddy because these are some serious accusations. I will say this, and this is outside of, because over here we try to educate for the future too. This is not necessarily all about the story at hand, right? But the story at hand starts our conversation. I think, ladies, I want to know where was Cassie's mom? And this is just as in general to all the ladies out there. If you with somebody and 365 days is not going well, why stay for 365 more? I'm just throwing stuff out there, right? You say, and I know she met him at 19. And again, we got a lot of young ladies and y'all want to be in the company of these older men. And, a lot of young ladies will forgive a lot when it's an older man with influence and money. They put a blind eye when it's influence and money. They put a blind eye. They really, really do, right? I heard a lot, baby queen, of the 35-page complaint. But can I be honest with you? All of that stuff that was in that complaint, it has been going around about Diddy for decades. She's not the first female that said he put hands on her, allegedly. She did come out and said before that he did these things to her, but then she took it back. But I also know that that's victim behavior. A lot of times that's what they do, right? Because we've been kind of talking about DV for a couple weeks now, because we first talked about it, with the Keke Palmer story, right? They go back, they have this ping pong back and forth, and they always protect the victims. So, connect all of these stories and kind of knowledge that we talked about together, right? And a lot of them do stay in it for this amount of years. I think the complaint is just salacious. The complaint is a lot. It talked about how he introduced her to, alcohol and other substances. How he made her have relations with other men while he watched and while he filmed it. And a lot was going on. I mean, and it's a lot. So let's go ahead and get into this Diddy story. Let me just bring up a little bit here. And she was able to revisit these complaints. I feel like, am I sticking?
No.
Okay, I feel like I am. So Sean Diddy Combs, this is Brother Love, y'all. Brother Love. Okay, that's what he changed his name to. So Sean Diddy Combs accused of art and abuse in a lawsuit filed by former girlfriend Cassie Ventura. So producer and musician Sean Combs was sued in federal court in New York City on Thursday by his former girlfriend Cassandra Ventura, who alleged she was arred and subjected to years of repeated physical and other abuses by Combs. The complaint obtained by CNN alleges Combs lured Ms. Ventura into a fast-paced and substance-fueled lifestyle and into a romantic relationship with him within 2 years of the pair meeting in 2005 or 2006, and Combs signing Ventura to his record label, Bad Boy Records, soon after. Ventura claims in the suit that Combs exerted his power and influence over her throughout the course of their professional and romantic relationship. According to the complaint, she was 19 when they met, and Combs was 37, and their business relationship lasted until 2019. The complaint details claims that Combs was physically violent towards her, controlled all aspects of her personal life, introduced her to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and, substance abuse, and forced her to engage in, acts with other men during that time. After years in silence and darkness, I'm finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships. Ventura, an R&B singer who goes by the stage name Cassie, said in a statement to CNN, with the expiration date of New York's Adult Survivors Act. So people, this New York Adult Survivors Act has helped many people. Okay? Helped a lot of people, and it expires on November the 24th. So a lot of men, I don't know what they're doing right now, but they probably praying to somebody that their victims don't speak up. Okay, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life. Now, the attorney for P. Diddy, Brother Love, said in a statement emailed to CNN that Combs, publicist, that Mr. Combs denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. The statement continued: for the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Ms. Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. In addition to Combs, the lawsuit names his companies, including Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment, and Combs Enterprise. It also names Epic Records, which it lists as an employer of Ventura. CNN reached out to Epic Records for a comment. Okay. Of course, they didn't say anything. So the New York Adult Survivors Act went into effect in late November 2022 and allows adult survivors of SA to sue their abusers in New York, even if the statute of limitations on their claim had expired. The law has given adult survivors of SA 1 year to file lawsuits against their perpetrators, and is set to expire on November the 24th. So she came close. He probably thought, I'm in the clear. It's November the 16th. He probably thought, I'm in the clear. And then boom, here she came. Okay. So Combs, 54, founded the music label Bad Boy in 1993. Now, listen, let me tell you something. Now, I don't want to go too deep into this right now here today, but there's a whole thing that tells you it's in the name. Watch what you name your kids. Watch what you name your company. Watch the names. Death Row Records, where is he? Locked up. Bad Boy. That's what he called his label, Bad Boy. And now this Bad Boy is in a whole lot of trouble. Come on now, let's talk. And has gone by stage names Puffy, Puff Daddy, and Diddy, credited with work that is regarded as instrumental in the growth of the hip-hop genre. Combs has won 3 Grammys in his career, along with 14 nominations. While he achieved initial success with his music, Combs also became a notable producer as well as an entrepreneur. So Cassie, 37, is an R&B singer, most known for her song Me and You, off of her 2006 self-titled debut album, Cassie, which was released while she was signed to Combs' Bad Boy label. She has also made music with artists such as Lil Wayne and Akon. In the 2009 release of the single Must Be Love, featuring Combs. So in 2009, she made a single with him, Must Be Love. Oh, child, it's a lot. There's so many moving parts to this story. Leo, what's your thoughts?
I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna prayerfully come in with abusers need to be heard. They need to be validated, and then we need to investigate. We need to investigate. We have always heard these type of claims against, at least, you know, me. I know him as Puff Daddy. Okay, so Puffy has always had these type of claims against him. But I'm gonna say this: when I read the complaint, it came through me from the New York Times, and when I read it, these accusations from Cassie was all what has been in the sphere of Puffy and his legal team, and they offered Cassie an 8-figure sum. Initially, an 8-figure sum. So if we're gonna do an 8-figure sum, then that means that it was at least $10 million that they had offered initially to settle the claim. So therefore, she got the goods. Okay, she got some goods on Puffy. She got some goods on him. And she found it unacceptable at the time, but it was also about the fact that her ability as an adult, and she was a victim of SA and R-ing and X trafficking. That's also in the claim. She thought she needed to file it. And that is because she is supported now and she is loved now. I believe every word in the complaint. I believe every word in the complaint because Cassie is non-problematic. She on these social media streets. She on these YouTube streets. She ain't, I don't even know what her voice sounds like. I remember the song, Me and You, or You and I, or whatever the song was. I remember the little cute little song, but I don't really remember her ever being vocal. She's stepping outside of herself through strength and courage to speak on. And we all have heard of the things that have been said about Puffy from Audrey Day, from Kim Porter. We done heard the word on the street about Puffy. So I believe her, but what it is in this time, in this day and age, things that was accepted in the 90s and in the 2000s is no longer acceptable. And if these are the things that have been these accusations against Puffy, then we need to hear it out. We need to get the evidence. We need to see what's going on. Because if this is, I believe it. She was a young girl. She was taken advantage of. And what I do believe, and I read the complaint, like the words in the complaint is horrific, Diva. The words in the beginning, I've never seen a legal document that said in the beginning in red letters, this is a trigger warning. This is a trigger warning. The things that is being said in this document could trigger trauma. And it's extensive. I read the document, the legal document. She got some goods on Puffy that, oh, she's gorgeous. She got some goods on Puffy that I don't think, if he thought he could fight it, he would never have offered and that's in the legal document. He offered an 8-figure sum, at least 10 million. That's 8 figures, at least 10 million for her to let it go away. And she said no. Look at her family, gorgeous. Today, this week, here in November is the day of reckoning, and
Ooh.
the people is coming through. And only thing I pray to y'all is leave me alone tomorrow on Friday. So my mind can stop spinning on these things. I believe her. I believe what went on. She was a young girl. She was taken, because once you start beating a person in a relationship that you thought was secure, it takes a minute to unravel your brains in that. When you start, the allegation, she was kicked in the face. She was stomped out. She was awed. She was beat up in a way, and then and taken care of afterwards. That do a whole mind F to you. After that, it's a whole nother thing that comes into place. He wanted control of her, and she gave it to him because she thought he was the man. She thought she could not get from up under him. Unfortunately, I think that when she left him, the only way she could leave him was to leave him for another man. Because she felt like if she leave him for another man, she would be protected from him. She didn't leave him and go out her own. She left him for a fitness trainer, somebody that didn't have no type of money that Puffy had. So, I mean, I believe her. And I think that this should be a cautionary tale as how when you decide that the music industry is where you want to go, you need to know yourself and your own values enough and figure if you're going to do, because remember Audrey Day, and you remember the discovery of the band, or that show he had,
making the band or something.
Yeah, making it a band. He treated them like trash. You gotta have a certain level of things that you're not willing to do to be famous, to have a record deal, to be important. You really need. Oh, good. Look at that cutie. You people know, they need to know within themselves. Oh, hell, it is a limit to what I'm fitting to do to be in this industry. And if someone, he was feeding her drugs and alcohol, and he, these things for a 19-year-old or, a 20 or 21-year-old. Come on now. And you say, where was her mama? She didn't tell her mama anything that was going on. And he talked to the parents. He brought them in and say, look, I'm taking care of your daughter. I got her a car. I got her an apartment. One thing I can say about my parents, they always said, take care of yourself. Have your own. That's what they taught me. Maybe her parents didn't do that, but once they seen that she was with the big Puff Daddy and she was taken care of, they were no longer on the line for support to look out. And I don't think she felt like she could, because it appeared to them, oh, she made it. Oh, she made it. She good. That's all I got, D. I'm moving on. My time is up.
Oh, all right. Thank you. I appreciate you. Felicia, you're up.
Okay. So thank you, Leo. I, too, have read the document. But what I'd like to share with everyone, who is her attorney? I have said before on this panel when we're having chit chats, you can have a lawyer, but do you have a good lawyer? Do you have a lawyer that practices within the field of your complaint?
Come on now. Okay.
And when you do you have a proven lawyer and a great lawyer? And I got to tell you, Miss Cassie got a great lawyer. Her lawyer is Douglas Wigdor. He is the founding partner of the law firm Wigdor LLP, and he is a litigator here in New York City. He is best known for representing 7 victims of alleged S.A. by Harvey Weinstein.
Ooh.
He also represented the hotel maid, Dominique Strauss-Kahn. That's a story that came out, I think, 2011. And over 20 employees at Fox News. And if you remember, what's her name over there, Megan, he was her attorney, got her that $20 million settlement. He's also represented people in the NFL, Brian Flores in his class action suit. He's also worked with cases having to deal with gender discrimination at Citibank. He's also worked on lawsuits and won Netflix cases. So he is very skilled and he knows exactly what he's doing. So when he released the complaint, which is so well written, so well documented, so beautifully laid out, he made sure he leaked it to the New York Times. He didn't want it to come in on a low-level kind of piece or media. He went straight to the top. He broke it right at the end of the day so folks would be able to read the story and see the complaint. I'm very sorry for what has happened to Cassie. The entire complaint made me sick. If only 20% of it is true, that was enough for me. I don't know what is and what is not true. I don't know what is and what is not valid. But what was presented seemed to be based on facts and her experiences. I want to reach out to all of my younger sisters in this chat and in that back row back there. Congratulations to the young women who think like Lori Harvey. She got away from pop real quick and did not fall victim to these kinds of debasing, demeaning behaviors. Probably expected her to do these things as he has done to so many others. So when we're holding her out for dating and choosing and deciding, look a little further. Congratulations to her for not falling for that trash.
Ooh. Thank you, Felicia. I appreciate you. E, you're up.
So I have a difference of opinion. I'll start with this. The New York Adult Survivors Act, I love to hear it and I love to see it. And the Supreme Court needs to pass this across the United States. And let's watch, if we can get something like this, instilled in every state without an expiration date. Let's see how many men, no matter the color, black, white, Puerto Rican, Indian, Haitian, purple, blue, yellow, whatever. Watch how fast these ninjas will deactivate their Instagram and Facebook page if women in every state can come forward and press charges on these predators. Okay, this is something that we need to be pushing for when these politicians begin pandering for our vote. Now, when the article called Cassie an R&B singer, honey, I just about knocked my vanity off the dresser. Like, what are they talking about when they say R&B? And then what do they mean when they say singer, when they reference these things in reference to Cassie? Hell no, that's strike one. Strike two for me is this. I always say you have to pick a side and stay there. Every woman running into Sean Combs or anybody like a Sean Combs, because this can be applied to not just him, because there's many more like him. They just are not in the limelight and at the forefront. But when you're running up behind a man like Sean Combs, trying to get a music deal, knowing that you're not the most talented, for me, I have to infer that you understand what you're getting into. And when I see things like alcohol, sex and drugs and the complaint. This comes along with that lifestyle. And this is what a lot of these girls sign up for, because this is what I'm inferring based upon the information I know from this and things I've seen with my own two eyes. She went along with the nonsense for the exchange of success. And I'm not minimizing the effects of a DV situation at all. And I understand how you can get entangled in a relationship and it can be hard to get out, but I still want you to follow me. This girl cannot sing an alto, soprano, B minor, nothing. But now she's reached a level of success in her career, which was void before him, that she's being linked as an R&B singer in an article, which has nothing to do with music. She's not Whitney Houston, Deborah Cox, or Toni Braxton. Knock it off. And you don't get to do the drugs, drink the alcohol, and have the sex, get it filmed, and carry on this relationship for years. And then come back and say, oh, I didn't know what was going on. This man cheated on you the whole time. We saw the other woman on Tasha K. The woman said on Tasha K that Sean Combs knocked the baby out her stomach, but this was the nature of their relationship. All of these women, and I'm not making light of that because it was horrible. It was horrible. But this is the nature of the relationship that he enters into with these women. Okay? I would venture to say it's compensation for the pain. I wouldn't agree to it, but every woman is not me. She received amenities. She traveled in the best of the best. She lived here and there, drove that and this. She definitely came in and upgraded her life for sure. But like Diva says all the time, you cannot sell your soul, then say, I want my change back. The reason I'm taking exception with this is because this is a slippery slope for what I want the Survivors Act to be versus what this can turn into. Now, thankfully, she has a great lawyer, but here's my thing. This is a slippery slope for what I would call unaware victims, meaning women, everyday women who walk into these relationships with men and they are blind. They get with a man who seemingly has no prior history of abuse, a polished reputation, stellar references. Nobody's coming out and saying, oh, he did this to me. There are no interviews online. You can't Google and pull up his exes and, that he had to pay for their nose jobs. I'm talking about that type of thing, okay? In comparison to something like this, you get with the man who has a known history of not only abuse, but stealing, violence, drugs. And we've seen it's on film. Victims coming forward left and right, not only from his personal life and romantic life, but also his professional life. This person has negative energy all around him. So the writings are on the wall. It's a difference. Am I saying what he did to her was right? Hell no. Am I saying I don't believe what she is saying? Hell no, I'm not saying that at all. I believe every single word, 10,000%. What I hope for this young lady is that she recognizes this lesson since she has a baby girl. She gave this man control over her person, and this is what he did with it. Like Felicia said, it is a cautionary tale. But as a new mom, a new wife, and rediscovering what love is and falling into a new love, you cannot keep looking backwards and saying, okay, I got to get him again. I got to get him again. I understand that this is a sensitive topic, and I hope that justice does come forward. But what justice will look like for me in this moment, don't put a price tag on it. I don't know if this is, but if we're really getting justice for what he has done, lock his black ass up.
Come on now, E. See, you know what? I knew this was going to be a hard conversation, and I could see many are not connecting. And that's why I asked y'all to think about this, and let's try to come at it from several understandings, because what's going to happen is many people are going to walk into the lion's den because the predators are out there and they're never going to go away. The only way they may potentially start to go away if they're being held accountable and they get locked up. I'm connecting with you, E, 100%. Here's the thing. I know everybody's saying, but she was just 19. And I want to move away from Cassie for 1 minute because I don't want people to get connected to just her and think I'm trying to say that this, she, whatever about her. I'm talking about any 19-year-old out there. There's a lot of industries that are very shady and seedy and dark. The music industry is probably one of the top ones that is so dark. And so there's a lot here. And people are saying, what does singing have to do with it? I'm going to take it this way. I want to dance. Okay? I want to dance. But I know I'm not a dancer. I can't got 2 left feet. And I didn't go to Avenelli. I didn't go to Yale School, this, that, whatever the case may be. But I go to this dance company and the guy takes me under his wings and he's saying I'm going to be the next greatest dancer. And I know I got 2 left feet, but I'm drop dead gorgeous and I'm in. And now they're feeding me alcohol. They're feeding me substances. They're asking me to do this, that, and the other. I'm connecting with you here, and that's all I'm going to say on that. We have to start having some understanding that when you walk into the jungle, and I said this before, if you walk into the jungle and you know it's the jungle, and then you wonder why the lions, the tigers, and the bears are coming for you, you walked into the jungle. And everybody's saying, well, she was only 19. If you're going to say that you're naive to certain situations, then you shouldn't go over there to that particular situation. Especially if you don't have anybody that is coming with you that is going to protect you. Maybe you need to go there with your father, your mother, your cousin, your business partner, someone. And I will say this. I understand because people saying she ran. I saw the documents also. I watched Pam Esquire today and she went through 35 pages. So I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. I heard everything. I don't even disagree with anything she said. Listen, all of it could have happened. Some of it could have happened. I'm just saying, this man has been known for what she's saying he did. There's plenty of other females out there that have similar or even worse stories. But even with some of them, the one girl that said he stomped the baby out of her stomach, 2 seconds later, she wanted to be back with him, marry him, and all of this other stuff. I'm just saying, at some point, I understand everything that people go through. But at some point, when do you do the cutoff? Right? And then, okay, I'm going to leave it there. My thing is, damn the $30 million, lock this man up so another 19-year-old don't get messed up under his watch.
Yes, and Diva, 10 seconds. Because hopefully 19-year-old girls who go through this will turn 40. And so the thing that I'm saying is, let's normalize educating our 19-year-old girls to make better decisions. I'm not saying that he should get away unpunished at all. But what I'm saying is she got something out of the deal. And yes, she may have tried to run. I hear all of that. I'm not saying that didn't happen. But we have a tendency as young girls, and I have done it too, to think that we can come in and do something different with this man than what the previous women have done. These baby mamas who came before you, he had all these baby mamas, all these different children. They couldn't change him and get him right. He was still messing around with these women when he was messing with her. And so what I'm saying is that for every action, there is a consequence. And I don't wish harm on anybody. But at the same time, we also have to stand up in the pain and say, you know what, I contributed to this situation by not removing myself or by taking that pill, by taking that drink, by opening my legs. There are resources in these places of power. And I understand Diddy is a very powerful man. But again, we need to heed the Yelp reviews on these men because people have been talking about him for a while. But I know it's somebody else's time. Sorry, Diva.
Yeah. So Tiffany, some women should be as psychologically strong as you are. See, y'all, I think that's the reason why I feel personally a lot of us can't grow and learn from someone else's mistake, because we get stuck on and only hear one piece of what we're trying to say. And I think we're just traveling down the same road in different ways. I have to
We got to think critically. We have to think critically.
Have to, right? Because at some point, how you going to stop your cousin, your brother, your sister, another 19-year-old from going down this particular road? Us outside of the industry have heard about Diddy for years. Anyone inside the industry that wants to say they haven't heard anything about Diddy, I got to move on. Dr. Love, your thoughts?
Okay, hello. This topic is it is hard, because I guess you do have the young ladies in the chat that's not understanding what you guys are really saying, to say what we need to make normal is having a relationship with your mom or your dad, even if your mom ain't here, your dad or an uncle or somebody who will forever protect you, even though they'll get on your nerves. But that's somebody you can always open up to, and let them know these things are going on with you. Okay. So did she have this person? No, we don't know. And yes, we do understand. Yes, she was a child, but we have to also understand that there are resumes out there. And I want to say a prime example, at my daughter's homecoming, you had, I'm not going to put this person's name out there, approach her. And I had to tell her, and this is in Atlanta, how old he was, how dirty he was, and so on and so on. And she finally looked, about this person. The person got a whole reality show out here, who approached her. So that's what made me think of what you and E was saying. What if she didn't have that mom to come to, and for me to think about it, then say some things to her, like, you don't want this person number, don't call this person, what if she didn't have that? So, but my thing with Diddy, I wish he would smarten up too. I'm always about where these people, PRs and whoever's at. I wish he would have just paid her off, because I feel like this almost about to turn into an R. Kelly situation, where there is about to be numerous of ladies coming out that he has abused. So, not that I'm for, him abusing anyone. Not that I'm for that, but if he knew what I knew, he would pay her. That's all I'm gonna say.
And maybe it's a good thing that he didn't pay her, that she didn't accept the payment that he wanted, because maybe when this thing comes out and go to trial and everything, all of it is going to come out, right? And maybe he'll get drained dry with paying everybody off in all the lawsuits, right? Someone said, something about us not, like, why do we always victim blame? I don't know. It's easy to talk. It's easy.
I blame 13.2 million men every day I come up here. What are you talking about?
Right,
but
right. You don't take it. Oh, hold on 1 second, everybody. Don't take it to you. Here's the thing, guys. I always try to say, let's have a greater conversation here. If anyone thinks me as a female or any female up here is really victim blaming, y'all missing everything we're trying to say.
Yeah.
There's no way as a woman that lives in this world, that got nieces, cousins, I'm gonna sit here and victim blame. But you know what? You got to catch some education. My father told me, don't be going in a man's house by yourself. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't, whatever the case may be. Somebody has to educate you somehow. And let me be very honest with you. We may all ignore it, but I'm going to say, I'll give it 6 months. After a good 6 months, you know what that person is about.
That's true. And not only
what that person is about. So you could, give me a minute, Dr. Love. You could continue to ignore those red flags to your own detriment. But of about 6 months, and I'm giving it more time than I really need to give it, I'm going to say really about 3. especially from the level of time that she said she was spending with him. From 3 to 6 months, you know what it is. I just happen to never drink. I don't judge anybody who drinks, but I don't care who was in my face. You ain't getting me to drink no drink. You're not going to get me to take a pill. You're not going to get me to do that. So at some point, if your parents aren't giving you this message, you need to hear the message from somebody. You know who a person is within 3 to 6 months. You're not going to change that evil spirit. And if you stay around it, I don't care if you're 19, 18, 16, 15, 14. Everybody keeps saying she was only 19. So at what point do you want someone to take responsibility for their life? If you're pushing a kid out after high school at 18, when do you think you're supposed to teach them about life?
That's your experience, Diva. Everybody else don't have that experience.
But see, but what you're not connecting to, I'm not trying to connect people to what I learned. What I'm trying to get people to connect to is learn now. Y'all mad because we're saying XYZ. Don't be mad at us saying XYZ. Catch the lesson. Or else another 19-year-old is going to walk into a situation and the same thing is going to happen to them. So we get so connected to the story at hand. I'm saying for 2.2 seconds, forget about the story at hand. Let's help the next 19-year-old that wants to get in the music industry and let them know, don't be caught dead alone with these men in these studios.
But you interjected your own experience, and that is
of course I am. But I'm saying, but either way, whether I inject my own experience or not, I'm still, come on, Fresh Stories. I thank you for connecting with me. I'm really trying to say, let's help the future generation. Don't be in these studios alone. If a drink is there, don't leave the room and come back and drink that drink. If it's all men in this studio, be there with someone else that's going to protect you. Don't want this thing so bad that it is the detriment of self. Come on now, Lorraine. I'm glad you connected with me. I went through a lot of peer pressure. His friend is saying I don't drink his phone. I'm just saying that you can disagree with me, Son and Bell, but I'm saying to you, learn the lesson. We
gotta watch for predators.
Come on, E. Here's the thing. We all know this thing happens. This happened to Cassie, but Cassie is not the only one that this happened to. Mm-hmm. I'm confident that when they start to talk about Diddy and this thing really goes down, mm-hmm. they will have tons and tons of females coming out. Yep. The stuff I heard about Kim Porter, and the things that happened when they said she passed away, and it was also connected to, what is Quincy's father name? I know Diddy raised him. What is his name?
I'll be sure.
Al B. Sure came out, because I was blogging at the time and I left it alone. Al B. Sure came out after her death, and he pretty much, if anybody out there remember, he pretty much blamed Diddy.
I remember.
I remember too.
Yep. He did a whole live. Yeah. He did a whole live, and he
ain't even out there in them streets like that. He did that whole live, and we ain't seen him since.
That part.
And then ended up in the hospital.
Come on now. You with me now? They shut Al B. Sure down. That live was up for about 2.2 seconds. The next thing you know, because they was like, oh, she had pneumonia. Did she didn't call the doctor? Did she went here? Come on now. Then he mysterious. Come on, Miss True Kelly. I'm telling you facts here. Next thing you know, he was sick. He was gone. He was this. He was in a coma for 2 months or something like that. Almost lost his life. If we're going to talk, let's talk.
Right.
If we're going to talk, let's talk. We want to dance around and stay connected to, she was wrong. She deserved this 13 million or whatever it was she suing for. I don't disagree with that. I want to move past that and say, save the next person from these predators, because Diddy is not the only one.
Right.
Diddy was only one. We on lockdown misbehaving, and I never kick anybody off the panel. Thank you for your super chat. I want to share a story when I was 17. Give me a minute misbehaving. Let me see what I can do. But so I want people, everybody saying at 19. So if you don't teach your kids darn near from birth all little things, what's going to happen was, and leave Cassie out of it for a minute, people. I don't care who your kid is. You don't teach them from birth all the way up until you got to release them to that world at 18. Stuff like this is going to happen. And I ain't saying I ain't damn near lit. Come on now. I tell my story all the time. I ain't live in no perfect world.
Right.
I ain't have no perfect parents. But I'm telling y'all, we got to learn from somebody. And you got to drop little messages from birth all the way till you about to push them out in the world. The world is mean, is nasty, is dirty. There's predators, and they're going to come for you.
They care nothing about you. I'm connecting.
Nothing about you.
And not only that,
they don't care nothing about you. I'm talking about when you go to the clubs. I'm talking about when you go to the movies. I'm talking about sometimes when you with people that's supposed to be your friends. Shanquilla. What's her name? Shanquilla
Robinson.
Come on now.
And at work, when your boss called you into his office or invite you out to lunch, and it's just the two of you and not everybody else.
You better talk.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to add too, Diva. I think the chat do have to understand a lot of us up here is older. We're licensed. We've been through some stuff. So we would like for you to listen to this chat and learn a lot from us.
That's truth. Come on.
Well, listen, I know I've already had my turn, but just based on what was just said, you have to protect your children as well. That first grader that's going to school, they use the toilet, folks. Ask somebody, what's going on when my child has to use the toilet? Predators of children love to work in schools. So don't walk around thinking everyone loves you and everyone is kind and everybody's going to protect your children. They are not.
That's true. Go to the PTAs.
That's right. How do the children go to the bathroom? Are they accompanied? What other kids? We have children who are predating on children.
You talking, Felicia.
Okay, so, I understand when they say they're not connecting because this is very emotional.
Yeah.
But it's a fact.
Come on.
When your children are not with you, somebody else is watching your child. Who is that person?
And
that's what's happening.
We do understand she's 19, but please reach out to somebody else if you don't have a mother to school you and let you know. Reach out to somebody else.
Well, let me connect a little bit. Then I'm gonna get to Sebastian. Then I'm gonna read the super chat. Give me a minute. Let me connect to E just a little bit here too. Some more. What's the name? Kamora Simmons. Kamora Simmons was told by Tyra Banks.
Yes.
That Russell Simmons was a predator.
Yes. And she said, I'll get him. I'm finna hit a lick.
I'm just saying that there's a mixture of stuff going on here in this situation. And that's why I tell y'all.
I'm connecting.
Come on now. You right? This is why I tell y'all I ain't connected to things and money.
But there are girls out there trying to chase it and they're going to go get it.
Brandon, thank you so much for your super chat. At first, I didn't know who Cassie was when she started the topic, Diva. Then you showed the pictures and I recognized her in the current guy. He worked for Diddy. Yes, he did. Cassie cheated and left Diddy for him. Yes, she did. Right.
But she needed him to leave.
She did need him. I'm just reading her super chat. She did need him. He was her refuge. He saved her. Sebastian, your thoughts?
Okay, I'm younger. I'm only 22, but I'm connecting with the older generation on this panel today. Mm-hmm. And that's only due to the fact that I believe in due process. And I do believe that you do need to take action. It's going to be so hard to say it. You do need to take action immediately or within a time period so the person can be prosecuted and locked up. So others won't have to suffer of said instances that you did to protect society, you should have made sure this man went behind bars. In my opinion, that's how I feel. And I know some of y'all are going to say, well, women can come out whenever they want. Women should say whenever they want. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, that's true. They should. They should. I'm not saying they can't. But now, what we're going to have is a predator out on these streets again. We need to make sure that our society is safer. And when people wait, it sometimes affects the safety of our said society that we want to protect. And I am going to say this as well. And everyone who keeps on saying, please don't drag me when I say this, I'm begging. Everyone who's saying she was just 19, she was just 19, she was just 19. Yes, 19 is young, but last time I checked, that's a legal age. Y'all need to acknowledge this. She was just 19. She was just 19. There are people who are younger than her who are suffering those, who suffered said things. And they are victims, and they do need to be heard as well. But what we cannot do is the fact that it's coming out like this, and no one wants to ask where was her parents? Who raised her? How did you allow this to happen? She was 19, but why was she saying, you don't hang with your boss unless it is work hours, point blank, period. And I'm tired of people saying, oh no, it's my boss. They asked me. No, just be like, you're busy. It's not my time to be on the clock. I can't be there. And I know E said something about this girl's talent. I agree with that. Me and E are connecting today. We haven't been connecting these past few days, but we're connecting tonight. But if you know you have no talent and you know you didn't get anything, why are you still persisting?
Yeah, but you know what, Sebastian.
I love you, Sebastian.
Yeah, but it's
that
not
was shade.
It's not a funny topic. Hold on one second.
No, it's not.
No, it's not funny.
So
but
wait, give me 1 minute, Sebastian. Give me 1 minute. See, that's the other problem too. The industry support these predators until the 11th hour. Everybody knew about Weinstein. Everybody knew about Epstein. Everybody knew about these individuals.
Yep.
And there are other individuals. This is why Russell Simmons fled to Dubai or wherever he is right now.
Bali,
because he was high on this list too, allegedly. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, it's all of this support. But the exposure is going to help put a little bit of dent into this situation. I really believe, this is just what I believe, her bringing this and having the bravery to do it is going to have other victims line up and say, me too. He might be in for big trouble with this particular situation because she may have opened the door to give other females that been, through it with him, allegedly, the courage to come forth, because I'm sure that her lawyers are going to work hard to get people to come and speak up about this situation too. So continue on, Sebastian. Then I'm going to.
Okay, and I also want to talk about the laughing part that I'm laughing. I'm not laughing about the situation. I just want everyone to know that I'm laughing because Nikki, I know what she's gonna say after me, and that's why I'm laughing, because I'm scared. But can't take it. As I said, when you wait, you cause more things to happen. When you wait, you cause others to suffer and endure these things. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm not saying that you can't wait. I'm just saying I want you to have this on your conscience, that waiting is causing others to be in harm, just like you have been. And I'm tired of this industry, and we as a society need to stop feeding into this industry as well if they're not willing to hold people accountable. This has become disgusting and it's become gross. Epstein got in away with his things many times. There were trials way before he finally got in behind those bars. There were trials for Bill way before he got into those bars. we cannot constantly have people supporting these predators. We can't constantly be the ones who are the first ones. Let's go listen to the music, R. Kelly. That's one. We can't do this. And we need to take these predators into account and make sure that they go behind a cell, not something that is dealt with monetarily, a cell. They need to be locked up. They need to not have access to the general public again, because these are offenders. This is exactly what they are, and we need to make sure children, adolescents are safe. And I don't know why people are trying to say she's 19, she's 19, she's 19, she's 19. I 100% agree. 19 is young as well. I'm 22, and I don't think that 19, I don't think I was grown at 19. I really don't. But still, y'all need to acknowledge this. There's a bigger picture that me, Diva, and E, and Dr. Love see, and I think Felicia as well, is
Nikki,
that
you gotta put yourself on mute.
That this girl was not taken care of as a child to make sure that she's not put herself in these circumstances. And this is another thing. Y'all need to stop trying to do everything for your dreams. Putting yourselves in environments for your dreams. Don't do that. It will it could risk you your life. Don't.
All right, Sebastian, let me move on. Thank you, Sebastian. So Tracy, why are we victim shaming Cassie? Tracy, if you get victim shaming out of this, then I don't know what to say to you. Definitely not victim shaming Cassie. We're trying to educate here, not victim shaming her. But there is some things that need to be recognized. And, somebody brought up Young Miami. So Young Miami always talked about her allowance from Diddy, which was like $200K a month or $300K a month or something like that. She also talked about what I feel, but if she was accepting of it, this is her, she talked about some things that they have done to each other, with each other, whatever, that I don't particularly agree with. But her whole premise, Young Miami, was like, whatever, I'm getting $300K a month. And I'm going to be interested to see how she feels and what she says maybe 5 to 10 years from now. But I do know she has done several interviews where it's almost like this $300K a month excuses everything else that I go through with Diddy. And again, Diddy is a known cheater because Baby Love was made and born in the midst of his relationship with Young Miami. So again, I say to everybody, I'm not victim shaming Cassie. I don't disagree. Probably like everything she said probably did happen. Right?
Agreed.
But this is who Diddy is. And Diddy didn't change. He's probably just gotten worse. That's all I got to say about that.
Amen.
Let me go. I think because my screens keep skipping around. I'm going to get to everybody. But in my opinion, you're up.
Okay, Diva, I'm going to keep this real short. If we could lock Bill Cosby up decades later, we could lock Diddy up. Lock his ass up.
Come on now.
Yes.
Well, I thank you. In my opinion, you kept it short. You ain't lying. You sure? They sure did, right? Locked him up. Lock him up. Denzel, you're up.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna use my words very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Very carefully. I used to like Diddy, wherever his name is. I used to like him back then, while I was growing up. I listened to his music. But I'm gonna tell you something. Allegedly, because I want to make sure I'm getting my facts straight. Allegedly, he was trying to shut down Wendy Williams, and Wendy Williams, she spoke about him, and I believe what she said about him was the truth. Allegedly, he's in the Illuminati. Allegedly, okay. So he's a powerful man. Okay, so he's allegedly. So he's trying to damage people's lives. Um, I do believe, allegedly, I do believe he has something to do with Kim Porter's death. I do, because you know why? Because a lot of people, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, it's a lot of stuff that people have said about Diddy that's not good, allegedly, and I do believe it. And I feel sorry for for Cassie, and I'm praying for her healing, and I hope everything goes well for her, and I hope she's getting her therapy. But Diddy, he needs to go down, and his day is coming, and I can't stand him. I can't stand him. And and again, allegedly he's in the Illuminati, like I said. And listen, because I'm trying to hurry up, Diva. A lot of people, not a lot of people. Um, Hollywood, Hollywood is dark. Allegedly, it's dark, and so he can't be trusted. They need to lock him up. They need to lock him up because he's evil. Allegedly, he's an evil person, and he needs to go down. And his day is coming, Diva. He's gonna get his karma. God don't like ugly. That's it, and that's all. And one more thing, Diva. God bless Wendy Williams, because she trying to tell us, and people didn't want to listen to her. But Wendy Williams, she was telling the truth about P Diddy, wherever his name is.
Amen.
Thank you for the super chat. Parents need to have these lessons in school and orphanages, so that kids who have parents that don't care about their kids. Thank you so much for the super chat, Gwendolyn. Okay, so this right here says one time, this is true. One time Diddy beat her up so bad he sent her on a 3-week vacation to Hawaii so that no one would see or question her face, how her face got like that. And then somebody said, now here's the thing too. A lot of people who have not, everything about his sexuality is alleged, but it's also alleged that a lot of people that are hiding their sexuality, so to speak, and they have relationships with women, and they prefer to have relationships with men, they end up beating up the females, they beat up the males that they with. Yeah, a lot of that is said about those particular individuals that are sort of quote unquote in hiding, right? So again, am I shocked at the level of the way she was allegedly beaten up? Not at all. I'm not at all. Am I shocked at the amount of the people that are in on this cover up? Not at all. I mean, look how much they covered up for R. Kelly. They had tons of people actually bringing the young ladies to him, right? So not shocked. And again, I will say this. Even Portia told a story that had to do with R. Kelly. All I'm saying is at some point, I'm gonna move on. Where am I at? I'll go to you. Go ahead, Nikki.
Whew, it's a lot. Okay, so what I will say, I would, in rebuttal to what you guys are saying, or you're seeing in the chat, because I don't even have the chat up, but I think, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the sentiment when people are saying about the victim shaming part, it's not that your message isn't correct. It's just that if you are someone who has experienced SA or whatever, you might not want to hear that after it's happened. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
you want to talk about it to your children when they're young, so on and so forth. But it's the time that it just happened, when people, they get triggered, if something like this happened to them, they don't want to hear anything about, oh, well, this person may have contributed to their own situation. So I don't think necessarily what you or E are saying is wrong, because you do need to be aware and things like that. I just think if you have been a victim of this type of thing, and your response, I'm sorry, can you hear me?
And I can hear you loud and clear.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say anything to anyone in particular. I'm just saying sometimes that's not when you want to hear it. And that's why people probably are having that response. I also wanted to say, the thing that's hard about this type of crime is it's the moment, it's usually only two people. It's usually done in the cover of dark, like I've said before, but also all the perpetrator needs to say is it was consensual. And the moment that happens, unless this person has them on videotape or can get them recorded saying this is what they did, it's really almost impossible for the victim to have some proof of, what actually happened to them. And if the person is powerful and has means like Diddy clearly has, it's even worse and much more challenging, especially if you don't come from that type of wealth. But what I did want to say, this does bother me. Whenever, I just think this way, I think we should never blame anyone outside of the perpetrator for the assault or the abuse or whatever else, because it is releasing, even if you don't think so, it's releasing the responsibility and also telling the victim in one swoop that you had something to do with why you were, attacked. And it's sort of like, I've used this because I've done all kinds of trainings in my life, but it's sort of like, if you know a dangerous part of the world, so we'll just use Chicago, south side of Chicago. If someone says, if I come to Diva's my mom, and Diva's like, Nikki, don't you go to the south side of Chicago because they have crime and da-da-da-da-da. And I choose to go, and then I become a victim of some sort because I chose to not listen to Diva, who's my mom or my guy mom or whatever. It still isn't my fault that someone attacked me. Yes, I put myself in a situation where someone told me or tried to warn me about this individual. But at the end of the day, I can't be put in jail. No crime can be, I'm not crime. They can't convict me or arrest me for my own thing. The only person they can convict and arrest is the perpetrator. So I never understand when people are like, well, I don't know why she was in that hotel room with that man, or she knew his history, or this, that, and the third. I still am always going to fall on the side of the person. Just like I made a choice to go to Chicago, that person made a choice to assault me. So that's how I feel about that. The other thing I wanted to really address, Sebastian said something about, people, when people decide to come forward. I always feel this way. If you've been a person who's been SA or molested or art or whatever, I don't know what the right word is that we could say, when you were younger or whenever it is that it happened, it's really difficult for someone who that hasn't happened to really grasp it, understand why that person is waiting. But I can tell you this for sure. Lots of people wait because of conversations just like this, where someone will say something, and I'm not saying anything against anyone, that triggers that person inside, and then they feel, and it feels like they're being re-victimized. If you start questioning the victim as to why they did this and why they waited so long. For some people, they wait 25 years because the laws haven't changed, and this is back in the day. For some people, they wait because it's a shameful thing, meaning maybe it was someone in their family, or maybe it was that boyfriend that everybody loves. People, unfortunately, don't always have the courage to come forward. And I'm certainly not going to stand for someone saying, oh, okay, so this happened, so I'm a victim of this. And because I waited 20 years to come forward, I have something to do with all of Bill Cosby's other victims or R. Kelly's other victims. You cannot put that on me. And it's to me cruel to do so. If I'm not brave enough at the time to say I'm going to come forward and tell you about what Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Weinstein, Jeffrey, whomever did to me because I wasn't able to do it, I think that's cruelty. Because you don't know what that person has to deal with just to get up in the morning. You have no idea if they have nightmares, if they have all kinds of things. It's trauma. So I think it's idealistic to say to someone, if this happens to you, immediately you should go and tell. And the other part to that is, you could go and tell. And like I said earlier, you could tell your mama and your mama be like, nope, that didn't happen. I have friends, family, and like I said, I've worked in special victims unit for years that they do tell people. And guess what those people do? Stay with that man. They still let them babysit you. So then what? So it's like, I can't, if I'm the victim, I can't be blamed because I didn't say anything 20 years ago. It's not my fault. Why are you putting it on me to go forward and do something? I was powerless to do something to even save myself. So I do think that you just got to be careful when you say things like that. And also to, especially with, people are going to feel how they feel. So I'm not going to try to change anybody's mind, but I don't understand why people blame the parents, because especially if this person is an adult, how am I wrong because my child went and did whatever with this person, and then now this person did something to her or him? Why am I to blame because of that? I'll never understand that. And I do know that there are some parents, like I said before, that will do that, but I just don't understand why people go there. And it's mind blowing to me, because I'm just like, why are you trying to pick a person to blame other than the perpetrator? Like, I never understand why we go to question the victim 100 different ways. And then the last thing I want to say is about like the statutes of limitation. I have a tough time with the statutes of limitation regarding any type of, I don't know, can we say assault? Can I say that at all?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why there's ever a statute of limitation. I would love to know. Probably should do my dissertation on that, because I'm just kind of like, if this person has been AR'd or essayed or whatever else, that is something you live with for the rest of your life. It doesn't mean that every day you're going to show up as a victim, because life goes on, right? But I don't know why, if this happened to me 25 years ago and now I'm in a place where I'm strong and I know who I am and I've built up my courage, why I can't then still come in and say this person did this to me. I don't understand why there's laws in place to protect the perpetrator. Because that's what it feels like to me. If you're saying that I'm the victim and I have a limit to whenever I can say I'm the victim, it's just mind blowing to me. But it's a sad world that we live in. And then this one last thing. Some people will say it's a money grab, or especially if the person is famous, and especially if that person is famous and you love that person, right? People will say, oh, it's a money grab, especially if they say it years later. Here's my rebuttal to that. I feel like, because of the fact that what I said when I first got on here, which is, if you don't have it on tape, if you don't have it videoed or recorded some kind of way where you have this person saying out of their mouth, admitting to what they did to you. Again, it's he said against she said, right? So what will happen is that person's attorney, so Cassie's attorney or whomever, they will get to the part in the case where they will tell her, hey, listen, when we take this to trial or whatever, you have a really low chance of getting this man convicted for all the reasons that I just said. People want to blame and all that kind of stuff, right? Or people don't believe it. So what happens to the victim is they're given a choice. And what'll happen is, I think he said this, where somebody was going to pay Cassie $10 million or something like that. If you know you are not going to win, because you're not going to get the public to believe you, or you take your chance with the jury, you might not win the case, then your only other thing where you can stick it to them is to say, okay, well, give me that $10 million. It isn't saying now, because I won $10 million from him, that somehow I contributed to it, or somehow I was just doing it for the $10 million. Sometimes you can just sit there and say, and it's a hard lesson. It's hard to sit there and be like, I really just want this person to go to jail, but they're not going to go. They're not. Your lawyer's telling you this is a weak case because you don't have DNA, or even if you did, the first thing they have to say is it was consensual. She consented to it. And then you're going to have a steep uphill battle to try to win that case. So a lot of times the victims want that person to have to say that, they want them to get convicted, but they know they can't. So it's like, all right, well, give me my $10 million. It doesn't take away the pain, the strife, the stress, all of the people that now hate you and going to send you all kind of hateful messages and whatnot. I do think this is a very sad situation. I never knew Cassie. I only heard of her name, but I never could understand why her career didn't go anywhere. Now, he's saying she can't sing. I don't know about that, but I remember I was probably like 20 when she came out, but I never understood. I'm like, what happened to that lady? And then I heard she was with Diddy. But this is the thing that's interesting to me, Diva. I know you guys have said everybody knew about P. Diddy. Today is the first day I've ever heard any of the things that you guys were saying, that like the allegations against him. I never heard that. So I'm just like, whoa. So now I do have one question. How do I get this article? Is it going to be in your like?
It's on Google, everything.
So just Google P. Diddy assault or something like that?
And
because I
you
never
can put
heard
it
of it.
on
So I'm like,
YouTube.
I want to go read it. That's crazy.
No, put it on YouTube. Type in "Surviving P. Diddy." They've done stories on him.
Ooh, a whole lot. Right.
Come on now. Surviving P. Diddy. Come on now.
TikTok.
You know what though?
TikTok.
I knew this was going to be the Survivor Act ends this month. I knew this was going to be a hard conversation. But it's okay. I'm gonna hang in there. D, you're up.
Alrighty. So I mean, I've been seeing this coming, honestly. I have been saying a long time Surviving Diddy would be coming. I didn't know if it'll be him or Trey Songz first. But yeah, I knew it was gonna be coming eventually.
Okay.
So I think kind of where the discord is coming from is that there are two conversations going on at once. There's the conversation of this specific incident, Cassie and Diddy. Yes. And then there's a conversation of how do we teach people in the future not to walk into these type of situations or not to have this happen to them the best way possible.
Yes.
So I definitely see both sides, and I see that you guys aren't trying to shame her because in hindsight, just like Nikki said, it's irrelevant to tell somebody after the fact, well, this is what you should have done. It's not going to help her. But I do see that you guys are saying in the future for other ladies who are 15, 16, 17, who are going to be 19, this is how you keep that from happening. So I definitely see that.
Amen.
And then I did want to point out one thing, as far as her being like with the 19, I do kind of feel like it's different because she was 19, 20 years ago. She couldn't go on YouTube and look up Surviving P. Diddy. She couldn't see on Instagram people coming out making posts about him. So yes, she may have known some things, but this was in an era where you want to be famous, you have to go to P. Diddy, you have to go to Timberland, Darkchild, you have to go to Jay-Z. It only was a select few execs that were going to get you where you needed to be. So I do understand, I feel like it was a little bit different for that time. And then it's one thing to leave an abuser, but it's one thing when your abuser is Diddy. He can ship you, your mama, your daddy, your family off to Love Island and Love Island, and nobody ever see y'all again. So, I mean, I think the fear that he probably instilled in her was something crazy, probably from day 1 or 2 or 3. So I think that is a different situation, and I definitely feel for her. I really, really hope that Diddy goes to jail, prison, whatever needs to happen. And I do think more people are going to come out. I definitely think more people are going to come out for sure. And we'll be looking for Surviving Trigger Trey next. But I do also want to say, for everybody else in the future, you got to watch out. Like, I definitely understand what y'all are saying. Like, you got to be careful in the situations you put yourself in, but sometimes you can never be too careful. Like, things are going to happen regardless. So you always do have to kind of look out, and do everything you can on your part, on your behalf, to keep yourself safe.
Absolutely.
And Surviving Jay-Z, we need that too.
Well, listen, it's a lot of them.
He done paid off his people.
A whole lot.
It's a whole lot of them. And as you stated, and listen, there have been some men that this has been done to too. What is that one from that group? I think he has literally lost his mind.
Oh, Brad Speak from B2K.
That's true. That's
I really think he has literally lost his mind because of what has happened to him in the industry and that he has been touched. And listen, the reason why I'm saying this too is because I don't really want to go all the way down this road, but I'm going to drop it on the floor and leave it there. All of these parents that allowed their children to be with MJ.
That part.
Michael Jackson?
That part. Yes. That part.
That's why I'm just telling people, make your money. Don't be connected to the money. You're not getting my kid for a nickel, dollar, or dime.
That part.
And let me tell you something. Every single day, and I keep telling Felicia, and I hope y'all tell her too. I told her, write the book. Because this thing that kids are supposed to be loved and protected, everybody needs to get the darn message. I don't care if your kid wants to sing, dance, whatever the case may be. Don't sell your kid to the devil. No, even until my son was of age, even I think at 16, the doctor was like, "Oh, your mother could step out because they talked it." I will not.
Oh no.
I will not be stepping out of the room. And he had to tell the doctor, "No, it's all right. It's all right. My mom is there." Because they got to check him. I see him every day. I'm not stepping out the room.
But I think
good,
that's
we're
some
good.
parents care. Some parents are, like that. But then some people come from homes or parents who are not protective of them like that. So you kind of are raising yourself and you go into situations naive and blind. You don't know what to look for.
Indeed,
So I think it is a
I believe you in
conversation.
that, right? But
Mhm.
that's why we're saying catch the message. Let
Right.
me tell you something. I promise you. I promise you this. I promise you on everything I love. There's a lot of people I met through YouTube that talk to me. Felicia is one of them. My son is in college now. She talks to me. I listen. I'm not saying I sit here and know everything. Who knows everything? You are a fool the day you want to stop learning. You're a big dummy the day you want to stop learning.
Come on.
We can talk truth here. Can we talk the truth here?
Yes, ma'am.
The day you want to stop learning and you think you know everything, you are a big dummy. And I'm going to say this right here, right now. There's
Amen.
people right now to this day that talk to me and they say, "Diva." And I even tell the people I really feel like I trust and I love, I say, "No, you guys say that to me again. I didn't connect yet. I said, help me connect because I know they trying to tell me something good. I don't be all in my feelings. That's why we say here, catch the train, don't catch feelings. You could catch a message that might save your life, save your kid's life, and somebody else's. I promise you, the people tell me, I ain't connected. Run that by me again. Then I say it a different way. Then they be like, all right, I'm going to say it this way. And then sometimes Felicia be like, "Diva." And I'm like, okay, hold on now. I know I ain't getting it. Help me out. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
People, definitely. I ain't trying to tell nobody what to believe, but let me say this. If you believe in God and you pray, he going to send the people, he going to send the message, he going to send the answer. But do you believe? So I'm saying, when I say to God, I need help with XYZ, it come, but it may be coming from Felicia. Maybe it's coming from Sebastian. Maybe it's coming from a video, but you got to catch it. And you got to be willing to catch it. And you got to get up out your feelings. So I know what the feeling is with this conversation. That's why a lot of conversation, I'm like, I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do the story because I know the part of the conversation people are going to be connected to. We connected to, yes, Cassie, that's messed up what happened to her. Yes, she's going to be dealing with that the rest of her life. But what I'm trying to say is we couldn't save her. But who can we save that's coming up behind her? Yes. You understand?
Amen.
And I definitely agree with that.
I know you connected.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm going to say these people with the student loans coming out $200,000-$300,000. Hold on now. We want you to get educated. But do you need to come out with $200,000-$400,000 in loans? No, you do not. Take your butt over there to the community college.
That part. And
then go to the university. Because it matters where you get the last degree from. It don't matter where you started. All I'm saying is that a lot of times, and I'm going to speak right now, and I love everybody that's connected to this channel, that subscribes. Let me speak to the people for a minute, talking about the Black people. A lot of times, we stay in our darn emotions and in our feelings, and that's why we stay broke and don't have nothing. We don't share no information with each other. We don't tell each other what bank to go to, how to get this, how to do that, how to rise above, because we're so busy being jealous. We don't want you to have a nickel. We don't want you to have a dime. We want to see you always begging, and we with you until you make your come up. Then we jealous. All I'm saying is we have a great opportunity here to share and to all rise up and rise above. But if we stay in our feelings, we ain't gonna rise up and rise above. I got friends every day that tell me off, that tell me to get it together, get my life together, and I'm better because of all of them. And I will never be ashamed to catch an education on a message until I leave this earth. You can educate me. And like I said, tell me one more time again. Help me get it, because I got lost. Get me on the right path here. Gwendolyn, thank you for the super chat. I want to hear the panelists talk about the solution and help the victims. We need to talk about the solution. Well, that's part of what we were saying. And I think a big part of it is that we want money, we want fame, we want all of this so much. Money is the root of what we really want. And I don't want to say it's evil, because it's only evil if you do it the wrong way and you get it the wrong way, right? But when money is your prime factor, you may lose everything else about you, all your morals, everything you was taught over money. You know what I mean? People get scammed. What's that whole Ponzi scheme? Now we know you can't give somebody $1 and tomorrow you getting back $500, but somebody will come tell you some stupid story. If you invest in this, you give me $1, and by next week you have $500, and you know that ain't no way darn possible, but you get into that mess.
Yes. And we're talking about teaching girls to stop taking shortcuts to success. Yeah. Because it's something Funky Dineva said one time: either you're going to pay on the front end or you're going to pay on the back end, because ain't nothing for free. Yeah. So when you go up to somebody like Diddy, Diddy's not giving you anything for free. No man, you're 19 years old. This man is 50. Or almost damn near 50, 47.
He's 50. He's 52, 53, 54.
Okay, so back then she was 19 and he was in his 40s then. So what is this 19-year-old girl doing with this 40-year-old man then? That's why people kept saying, what about the parents?
He was 19. She was 30. He was 37. She was 19.
Right, okay, that's still too old. But see, we normalize this. Oh, young girls, it's okay. Young girls will be with older men. No, it's not. No, it's not. He's taking advantage. And so when we talk about solutions, the solution is if you want to be an R&B singer and you can sing and you have the talent, it may take you a little while longer. Why don't your parents invest in your career like Matthew did with Beyonce? Even though I know Matthew is full of crap, that ain't about that part. But like somebody mentioned in the chat, Brandy and her mom stood with her throughout all of those times. And I'm not saying that Brandy's mom is perfect. But what I'm saying is there are other ways for you to get into an industry and see your dreams come true than chasing behind a predator to get you to where you are faster. Because look what it cost you.
And you don't have to pay the cost. But I'm going to say this. Yes. The scripture says that it is the love of money is the root of all evil. Come on, it is not money that is the root of all evil. It is the love of money. And y'all can back check it for me if you don't believe me. But it is the love of money is the root of all evil. All evil.
Mm-hmm. That part.
Yeah. And there was a lot of solutions gave tonight. I do mean a lot.
Yes. And I'm glad, honestly, now that it's a lot easier for artists, especially, women, to make their way into the industry without these big music executives. Like now you can go online, you get a popping song on TikTok or Twitter or Instagram. And now, you can be popping independently. So I think that's part of a solution there. And then another part, the school systems have just been so indoctrinated to dumb us down. They should be having classes like financial literacy, recognizing predatory behavior. Where are these type of lessons in school? We doing 4 years of algebra and English, underlining and how to use a comma in a sentence. Like there's no real life lessons being taught. So if you're not learning it at home by your parents, you're not getting it.
But here's a life lesson that come from your mama. Q and J is giving us the lesson right here.
But how can your mama teach you if the mama don't know?
That's facts too. But I like this message too. Because I got similar messages growing up.
Me too.
I remember when I was in the 10th grade, my senior boyfriend bought me a watch. My mama made me give it back. She said, I know it's a gift, but it may cost you. She was teaching me even then. Yes. You know what, ladies too? Never go out on these dates with no money. So if you got to leave, you can leave. You got your money, but now at least you can have money on the phone, your Uber, whatever. Be able to leave.
Cash App. That's why Cash App is booming now. These girls can ask their mama, their aunt, whoever, for Cash App and the money there, and they can Uber, they can buy their own food, they can do what they want. The men too, not just the women, the men too.
But you want to see a man
if
face
I
get
may,
crunchy?
I really want to kind of, if I may.
Yes.
I've been listening intently tonight, and what I want to say to Nikki and to Dee, and I really want, again, because I love my young women in the chat. When we have children, we are their protectors. We cannot be with them all the time, but we have to be with them, and we need to converse and prepare them for these predators. And when I use the term predator, I'm not talking about a P. Diddy. I'm talking about your mother's uncle, okay? I'm talking about the neighbor next door. I'm talking about the person in the corner store that might be giving you a bag of potato chips to touch you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. So let's talk about uncomfortable. You can speak to a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old about, are they comfortable? What is appropriate? When they go someplace, how someone treats them, what they say to them, what they see. And to prepare them for this world that is looking to make them a victim. When Nikki mentioned, and I'm very sorry, Nikki, for what happened to you, but when you said, well, who is someone to tell me when I should be able to speak? I'm hoping that you spoke to those in your immediate surroundings to protect them. I'm not saying you had to go the legal route. I'm not saying you had to run down to the police. But when we remain silent and we know the family friend is a predator and they are in the house with a sibling, a cousin, a friend, we need to speak. And if we can't speak to the adult, because maybe we're not going to be believed, we tell each other, don't be by yourself with so-and-so. Don't go to that person's house. Don't go after school with this group. When you are out with your children, you should never, ever let them use a public bathroom alone, ever. If you got to clear the bathroom for the men's room because your child is a male, you make sure it's clear. And if you can't clear it, you let everybody know that your child is in there. And they better be on their best behavior. You never, ever let your children travel with you and they're in a group and they're not amongst you. And if they do, you make sure you ask them, did anyone make you feel uncomfortable? Did anybody offer you anything? Did anyone say something to you? So that they know that they can come to you when somebody will, not if, when they do. There are 10 people up on this panel tonight. And my heart is breaking because 3 of the 10 have come forward and have said they've been hurt and injured and violated. Yet we are not really talking about what it is that we can do. And I agree. What are the solutions? Protect yourself. You don't have to be nice. If someone at the job has said something, done something, yes, well, I got to pay my rent. I got to pay my mortgage. I want that bag. No, you go down to HR and you put in your documented complaint. Why? Because you're not the only one. It takes great bravery and great courage to stand up and say, this is wrong. But it's not going to go silent with me. I'm going to stand. What is it that Maya says? When I enter, I'm one, but I come as 10,000. Believe that. Stop allowing people to victimize you, your children, the spaces and places that you're in. I don't care if Cassie was 19 or 79 like Camille. What happened to her was wrong. And God bless her. She took it to what this country was built on, the documented word. Take him to court and tell your story there, because justice delayed is justice denied. Get it today.
Oh, thank you, Felicia. Amen. Come on now. Amen.
Amen.
I will
Amen.
say this. Look at here. Look at here. Diddy is the subject of an NYPD criminal investigation, apparently involves SA. His day has come.
Whoa.
Diddy is the subject of a secret NYPD investigation. Although it's unclear if his ex, Cassie Ventura, made the criminal complaint, there is strong evidence it involves SA. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ there's an open case at NYPD with the name Sean Combs. We're told it's an active case, but the case file has been locked. It's essentially meaning it's a sensitive case where access is restricted. And you know why they got to restrict this access? Because these ridiculous people that have promised to work in these law enforcement, hospitals, and all that, they love to leak information and mess up a case.
And he might have people on payroll.
That's you better talk.
That part.
But they've been looking at him the whole time. They've been looking at him the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time.
Wow.
Law enforcement sources tell TMZ there's an open case with, I think I read that right. As we reported, Cassie has filed an explosive federal lawsuit which alleges R in human trafficking, among other accusations.
God, she is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
She is.
God.
So the day of reckoning is here. And y'all told me to stop it with these 3 stories. I guess I learned things.
Can I say one
thing?
thing?
Give me 1 minute. I learned things the hard way. But we ain't doing Will and Jada tonight because I ain't trying to be on here 5-10 hours. Okay, we have to do them
overtime.
Okay, I'm done. This was a lot. But I appreciate, I'm gonna let you go, Nikki. Give me a minute. I appreciate everyone that was on here. I appreciate everyone for sharing their story. I appreciate the connections made. We gotta, at some point, I want us to move into that realm where we're helping people learn how to protect themselves. And yes, I know everybody might not have gotten the lesson from a parent or whoever raised them, but catch it when somebody else is giving it. It's never too late to learn, and it's never too late to figure out. I'm not going to go in that situation. Not today. And listen to your own instinct too. Sometimes we do get a little itch like, I shouldn't be here. I have gone through doors where I was like, I don't know if I really want to be here and do this. Right? And then use wisdom. Thank you to Don. And then, because that happens sometimes, right? We're human. Maybe you with a group of people, everybody like, no, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And you get in there and you're like, I don't even want to be here. Why am I here? Your gut never lies. That part, Emmanuel. Right? So it's a lot. Yes, Nikki, what did you want to say? Please be short.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was just going to say, I think that sometimes it's the wording, not necessarily the message. So like, I know some people have said, or probably in the chat, or people tend to say, this person needs to do this, like when they're saying, oh, the victims need to go ahead and tell or say or whatever. I would say it's probably better to say, I encourage you to come forward rather than you need to. You know what I'm saying? Because it just hits different. That's all I wanted to add.
Yeah, I hear you. I think a lot of times too, I would ask people when the people on the panel are talking, it's not easy, right? Give a little grace. And because sometimes even myself, I say words, but that's not exactly what I meant. And I think what Sebastian was trying to say is when there's a delay of telling about somebody, unfortunately, that perpetrator continues to do it and more people are getting hurt. But it wasn't like a slap on the hand. You should have told 10 years ago. You should have told now. I think that the more... And no, I connected with you, and I connected with you for many reasons. I understand. the thing is that these perpetrators, they count on the fact that no one's ever going to say anything, and that's what they try to scare you into, and then they get the license, so to speak, to continue on hurting people year after year, decade after decade, or whatever. But what I do know, because I speak to most of the panel that come up, y'all see that it's a lot of us were the same all the time, and we have conversations backstage. And so in my heart of hearts, I know that nobody ever means anything malicious, harm, or crazy, or whatever the case may be. That's why, you know what, when I see stuff going in the left towards some people, I tried to bring it back in, because I know the sentiment of the people on the panel, and I know nobody ever means like a right. So that's anyway. Of course, you're coming backstage after this. Come back at stage, the Don. Does somebody want to drop down for 1 minute? Did let the Don say 60 seconds? Go ahead, Nikki. Thank you so much. Love you, Nikki. Thank you for being here. The Don, you got 2.2 seconds if you want to hit that link and come up here, because you've been dying to say something, and I would love to hear what you have to say.
While he's coming
And
up,
Diva,
can I say one
you
quick
was right
thing?
about Diva, you was right about when you stop learning. Because Albert Einstein said a long time ago, when you stop learning, you start dying.
That part.
Can I say one quick thing really quick?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I just wanted to say that I think it was one of you guys that said something really important as far as learning and what, you know, what can we take from this and what are the solutions. I think one solution is definitely situational awareness, because that's really the most critical moment, is when you realize something's not right and you either stay or you leave. If you stay and you get caught up, 8 out of 10 is so much easier for you to go through an abusive situation after you've walked into it, like, or after that first encounter or after that first meeting. If you leave right then, you have a way higher chance of nothing, you know, harmful happening to you. Now, I know for sure that things still happen to people even after they try to walk away. But that first moment in knowing which situations are safe and which ones, this is a little sketchy, is definitely helpful.
Thank you, D, and thank you for being up here today too. Right, 48. Don't do that, y'all trying to. I don't do that. I'm in 2 hour mark here, but you can click on the link if you want to and get your 60 seconds. Go ahead, Didon. What did you want to say?
I just wanted to say, very important topic. I'm sorry, I'm in my TV room watching the game,
No
but
problem.
it is very important topic, and I just wanted to add, yes, we do not want to pressure the victims to rush and make a decision on when you decide to report, but our kids are so vital to getting these people off the streets. You may not be the only person that this has happened to, and it is vital to report it and get it our kit done to you, because someone else may have gotten an R kit and it may link your R kit to their R kit, and that person may not have been caught yet, but you may know that person, and the other person who has been R'd or SA'd may not know that person. They may have been roofied or given something. Mm-hmm. So try to report as soon as possible. Some old school or some new school people may say, don't do it. It ain't worth it. Or you're going to get caught up in the system. And no, don't listen to that. Like we've been saying, go with your gut. Sometimes, yes, you may feel embarrassed, but please report. Go to your dorm advisors, go to a cop on the street, go to someone, your pastor, a counselor, someone you feel comfortable with. Report. Talk to somebody about it. Somebody that's wiser than you, a aunt, a grandmother, somebody that's going to help you through this, because you don't want to do this alone. It's important to get this done, because it's not going to just help you. It's going to help other women who have been through this just to get these ends off the street, because you know 9 times out of 10 you're not the only one that they did it to.
That part. And you know, ooh, okay, Denzel, good, you too. Have a blessed night. In the other part too, who would have known with Kiki? Now I know the situation is loaded, but I'm just saying, right? Got Kiki Palmer. Like this thing is bigger than this situation. It's deep. And for them to say they've been investigating him probably for a minute. The NYPD. And I would not be surprised if it's other genders that are part of this case.
And they've been investigating him since that thing that went down with him and J-Lo, and that was in the 1990s. So I'm quite sure they had the books open the whole time.
You better talk about it. And it's a shame because he got a bunch of girls. He got the twin girls. I think he got more girls than he had boys. I think it's 3 boys and then the rest are girls. Then he just had baby love. Wayne, you're up.
Just wanted to say lesson learned. I'm good.
Thank you. Yeah. Ooh, listen, guys. Thank you for getting through this conversation. Maybe we'll pick up Will and Jada tomorrow for trending topics, or maybe we'll go lighter. I did have a feel-good story, but I know like we're out of time. Or do I need to neutralize this situation and go ahead and show this story? Let me see. How many minutes is my story?
Please neutralize. Please.
Okay, I'm going to neutralize and show the story. Hold on one second. I'm going to show it because we need to be... where is it? That's not it. Okay, I think this is it. Okay.
This is the magical moment the Scarborough family in Tucson, Arizona will never forget.
Can you see?
That's Henry and Morena's baby girl Ireland putting on glasses for the very first time. Now, clearly seeing she's surrounded by so much love. There were other unforgettable moments too. Here's Army Major Eric Kusich a few weeks back surprising his kids at their schools in New York after a 10-month mission overseas. A homecoming that means so much to this military family.
Oh my God.
And in St. Louis,
are you kidding me?
That's John Ivanowski. Shocked to find out his daughter, Delaney, was his kidney donor.
It's fine.
It's a secret she kept for months, preparing for the procedure when his kidney disease got worse. The gift of life helping him heal.
I think about it every day. She's my hero. I'll take care of her the rest of my days here.
I need you to read something for me, okay?
Across the country, students were celebrating good news, like Stephen Russell.
That you are to be admitted.
The multi-sport star with Special Olympics Georgia.
There you go.
Overwhelmed when he found out he got into Kennesaw State University. But this was the moment that moved everyone to tears. That's Southgate High School senior Joshua Alvarado in Los Angeles, surprised with a $50,000 scholarship. He plans to study engineering at Stanford. Joshua embraced by his mom Irene and his 2 sisters. The moment bittersweet. That's because his dad Mario died 5 years ago. Joshua prayed to him after the celebration.
What did you tell him? I told him that I hope he's watching. He's proud. No doubt. You should know that.
You're killing me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The family has overcome struggles, even homelessness. As a first-generation son of Mexican immigrants, Joshua hopes his story inspires others.
How would you define the American dream?
The American dream, to me, has always been
reaching for something more. That belief that there's better out there and that it's within your reach if you just work hard enough.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
I hope we neutralize this situation. Wait, let me see.
Watching our YouTube channel. Follow today.
All right. I hope I neutralize the situation. I know, right? Everyone calms everybody down. Thank y'all for being here. And listen, we have heated discussions. And I know sometimes, you know, the mark gets missed a little bit. But I want to say this to everybody. Whether you are male or female, because it happens to males too, try to protect yourself. And if you find yourself in the space of a predator, I don't know, yell, scream, something. Try your best to get out of there. Love y'all all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having this conversation with us. We wish and pray the best for Cassie. But
yes.
And I want to
say one last thing. Parents need to stop trafficking their kids.
Okay, come on, Sebastian. Give me a minute. We pray for Cassie, and I feel like her day is going to come because she endured a lot, and there's a lot of other people that allegedly has been done, you know, whatever by Diddy. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Love y'all. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit it going out. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Love you, Denzel. Good night.